tyre cover here, the wheel cover. And what we've done is we've just started in an out of the way place where it's going to look the best, which we think is the centre of the rear. And all you do is just snap the trim on, make it nice and tight around the corners here, just keep snapping it on. You may just need to just tap it on very gently with a hammer, and while you're doing that, just make sure that you're supporting everything there, and you're not going to move it out of position, you're not going to crack it or anything. So just keep a gentle pressure on, keep snapping that trim on, just like that. Maybe a bit tight, make it nice and tight around the corners, carry on all the way around, But when we come to the cutout, what that's done is it may take a mini grinder or your clippers that we've been using earlier, that we refer to as gilbos, and just snip a curve out, mark it with a marker, push it round first, mark it with a marker where you want to cut out, just take a little trim out, so when you push it on, you can push it up and you don't get any nasty edges where it's stopped and started again where you've had to cut it off. So that just looks a little bit better, we think. So then we're going to just keep coming round, just keep pushing it on all the way around, making sure it's nice and tight. And when we come to the bottom, the lower tube here, we just repeated the same procedure. Again, just feed it round, mark it with a black marker so you can just see it, snip a little bit out or grind a little bit out, don't go too far and go right through the back, and then just keep feeding it on, push it on, make sure it's nice and tight, all the way around. Again, keep supporting it. When you come to the end, obviously you're going to have a length of material left over. When you come to the end, just mark it again with the black marker exactly where you need to cut it off, and cut it off so and snap it on, and you can see, you can hardly even see the join there, so you've made quite a respectable job of that.
Right, we're now going to fit the front headlamp cases on. These are chrome headlamp cases. You've got your case, the bottom part, which I'm show you where it goes, a washer, a nut, and another washer. This is your wire that connects to the back of the beam unit, which is sliding through that thread and bolt there. So all we're going to do is push the cables through the hole on your light bracket, pull them through. Telling you wrong, first of all we need to put that on. Put the cable through that, push it down to there. Now I can push it through. That sits on top of there, in the white bracket. And you also need to thread the cables through the washer and the nut. Straight up, underneath. Screw that up. Don't tighten it fully yet because you've got to get your headlamp in and all that. And that's the headlamp case on.
And your cables
dangling. Yeah.
Cables are dangling down there. You'll have a gap underneath your light bracket. You can just feed your cables into your car, grab them through the hole. You can connect that all up and run your cables down your channel afterwards. The same on the other side.
Right, we'll now fix the headlamp itself. So the first thing we need to do is you need to remove the outer case of the chrome headlamp, which is on there and screwed up at the bottom. So because you've left it loose, you just rotate it around and unscrew that screw from the bottom, which is under here. So having done that, take your headlamp, plug it in to the socket. Locate it on these locating parts here.
There's a little
on the cutouts on the headlamp, chrome headlamp case, like so. And I suppose if you, to make it easier, do it at the top, like that.
Very careful not to lose the nut.
And then screw it back together. Right, once you've got it slightly on, rotate it back around to the bottom so that it's not in view.
You just rotate the lamp and tighten that up.
And that's the headlamp fitted inside. We're still going to leave that loose so that we can rotate it, and when you final fix, you can tighten all that up at the bottom when it's fully wired up and everything's in position.
We're now going to come to fit the rear light, indicator light. And what we've done is make sure we've got the car nice and level, put your spirit level on, make sure it's sat level that way. Once you're happy with that, what we've done is we've took a measurement from the bottom point here, about 5.5 inches to the bottom line, 8.5 inches to the top line. That should come in with the measurement on your lamp. So what we're going to do is we've took off the cover, the plastic cover. We've got 4 holes in the light there, which we've very carefully we've put a centre line on, make sure that it's the right measurement, and as we've told you before, the rubber here has come level with the front strip here, the aluminium strip, and that should cover your rivets that you put in earlier, your small rivets there. So we've marked out 4 holes, and also the centre hole, which you can see it's got a large diameter hole there. What we've used there is we've used a hole saw, proper hole saw, that's 29mm hole saw. Something like that, and put in 4 large screws. So you're going to take your wires, feed it through the hole that you've put in there, and obviously first of all we'll peel back the plastic very carefully, and it's shaped to the shape of your wheel arch. It's got a cutout and it's shaped round, so obviously the thicker part goes to the top, the smaller part to the bottom. That will keep it all parallel. We've drilled 6mm holes, and we're using 5mm nuts and bolts. So we've now got that in position and we've tightened that up. We'll come back, we're going to put the plastic cover back on. Obviously your indicator side is going to go to the outside of the vehicle, and that will just simply screw back in to there. So that's in position. You're going to do the exact same procedure on the other side, and that's rear indicators fitted. We're just going to touch again upon the small contraband trap that we have at the back, as we haven't explained it previously. So what we've done is we've cut it out, and what we've done is we took two very small, we just used little plastic hinges. We carefully marked out the hole centres, and we just fed the plastic hinges in between the two, the back panel and the diff panel. We just fed them in slightly. Make sure as you're doing that you're not pushing the panel out in any way, and you're not going to see horrible bulges. And all we've done is just fastened it with some of the small pop rivets. Once you've got it in position with just two fastenings there, make sure you've got a nice even gap all the way around. And this is going to open outwards. So what we've done, we've taken a small piece of material off your off-cut pack, which sits behind there, inside your panel, and when that falls down, that's going to captivate the flap. So you then push that down, drill two very small holes in parallel with your other rivets, and you're going to rivet the section to the back at the bottom. We're not obviously going to rivet the flap on. We're just going to use some little self-tappers in there, and we're just going to run them in, and that means you can obviously remove that at any point and just lift up, and anything you've got inside your panel, tools and everything that was mentioned earlier, and this will also give you access to your diff, and you can top your oil up and such. And then that's just going to fasten and sit there. And that's the contraband trap. We come now to the master cylinder bracket. This is going to fit around the pedal set that we've got. So we've got a plastic side, coated side, and as you can see I've softly sanded the back down again. So this is a plasma panel, so you will have to sand that down. So you come and put the plastic side up. You've got two cutouts here and here. You put that level with your bench, like so. Just tap those down. On the bottom we've got several cutout areas, but the ones we're going to be aiming for is the first cutout here and the last cutout there. So you're going to flip that completely over with your flap up, the plastic side down, level with your bench again there, and knock those the other way. the last tab on the left hand side. We're going to leave that. That's going to bend the other way. So that tab, you're just going to leave that back. Like that. Should be able to get a nice bend on the edge of your bench as you've done before. You now got two cutouts and two V's here and here. So just going to bend that back on itself, plastic side up. Get that level with your bench. Beat that down. That should give you a bracket, and that can go on your car. I'll show you where to put that. Now come to fit the bracket onto the car, and as you can see, you've got a large hole here with two holes, and that's to locate your master cylinder. So we're going to here. Two holes should align with your bracket that's already on your car here, and your large hole should sit inside there. So once you've aligned those up, you may just drop a couple of bolts through there just to locate your bracket. Once you've done that, you're going to pull your box around, make sure it's all squared. You can drill through your tabs, maybe a couple of holes in there, one in there. I think we'll just put self-tappers through, and maybe 3 or 4 in the front tab, a couple on the tab here. And as you can see, the tab that we've bent the opposite way on the bottom here is going to sit inside the car. This is so it doesn't get in the way of the stick. And that will just help stiffen up your pedals and also stop it from wobbling, and it will also locate your master cylinder.
Right, what we're going to fit now is the front indicators. It consists of obviously your indicator, universal, left or right, either way, doesn't matter, and nut and washer to hold it on. So the first thing we need to do is locate the centre of the nose cone, centre of the grill, running that way. So we measure down, like so, with a level, get it level, measure from the middle, centre down, and mark 2 marks either side, which will give you your marks to go around. Then what we can do is, from that mark, get your level, level it up, and then draw another line down the side of your nose cone. What I did was put some masking tape on down the side just to draw on, and then drill through the masking tape. So once you've got your line on down the side, which you've levelled up like so, along there, same on the other side, you'll have 2 lines level for your drill line. So then we've marked, I marked 4 inches from the front of the nose cone there, which gave me that mark there. I've then drilled a 10.2mm hole through the nose cone for the threaded part of the indicator, and then there's a small nipple there which is like a locator so it doesn't twist. And I've drilled another hole for that with a 3mm drill which is just behind it there. So after you've done that, it's pretty basic, simple. All you need to do is thread your cable, your wires through the large hole, pull it through, push the threaded bit through it, locate it with the locating nipple, and let it hang. Then get your washer and your nut, thread the washer onto your wire and the nut all the way down the cable, and then run it up on the inside. And just tighten it up. It will still move slightly, so you've still got that little bit of movement to get them both parallel and looking exactly the same each side. Nip that up, like so. Leave your wire dangling on the inside, ready to meet all your other wiring. And those are the indicators fitted. Now we'll move on to fitting the front nose cone grille. So it's basically just your grille. We've sprayed it black, and you've got on the rear you've got 4 pegs sticking up, which is what you're looking at to drill holes for on your nose cone. So that's going to sit in there like so. On the 4 pegs at the back, all you need to do is go through with a pen, a pencil, some sort of marker, mark through like so, on all 4, remove it, drill through those marks with a 3mm drill on all 4 points, making sure you've sprayed it to the colour that you design. When it's dry, just pop it into position. And it doesn't take any more fixing than just pushing it into position, like so. And it'll snap in, because the rear stools, the rear parts are slightly bent up, so it does actually clip into position like so. You can see that's strong enough to stay there as it is. But if you do wish to do so, you could put like a blob of silicone on the back, just as a cautionary measure. And that's that fitted. Right, we're now going to fit the side repeater lights, left and right. So all we simply do is, we decided to put these at 380mm from the rear box section, which holds your wishbone. Simply because it gives you good visibility behind the wheel. It's not too far forward, so it's in a blind spot. So we feel that that's roughly a decent position. So what you need to do is unscrew your the cover from the back. Mark out 380mm back. We've chosen to come 25mm down, an inch. Then simply place the bracket on so that you can see the mark through the centre of the hole, through there. Get your mate to line it up so it looks level with the top of the car. So it's level with there, just like that. And then you can drill through it with a very small drill bit, 3mm minimum. Still lined up. Yeah, that's good. So now that we've done that, we can then remove that. Then we need to change your drill bit for a slightly larger drill bit to drill through that centre mark so that your wiring can come through the back. You can, well, yeah, it might be better to drill through with a pilot drill first. Drill through that centre mark with the one that you've already got in. Just any drill bit that's big enough to take the wire. And then pop your back on the front. And screw it on.
You'd obviously fit your wire into the bulb first, but we're not going to do that, we're just showing you where to locate it. That's it.
And that's that fitted. Right, we're now going to fit the carpet, and Oswald's done quite well in cutting these, making these templates for us. He's made it so that it's universal, one for one side, same one for the other side. So we've cut round them, and we're now going to fit the carpets. He's also done one for the driver's side and the passenger side in the footwell. So
once you've got your template and you're sure that everything is all the proper shape, we're going to cut it out of the carpet.
We've cut it out, and as you can see, we're going to fit that in, and it should be quite nice, I think. It's pretty good. We'll go for this one. And that's a nice fit as well. So basically we can now fit the seats on top of that. Do make sure if you wanted any wires running through underneath or anything like that, that you get them underneath beforehand.
And also on the passenger side, you've got the hole for the handbrake, which we're not actually going to try and cut the hole out. We're just going to locate the hole and just put a little slit in the carpet, and then you can feed your handbrake through it and just drill through the carpet and put your bolts on the handbrake.
And that'll be the carpet done.
So once you've got your carpet in, you can fit your seats. Of course you're gonna glue your carpet in at some point. We're just gonna carry straight on with the seats.
The seats we've opted for just single cushions, and to fit these in, this is the back one. But to fit these in, all I've done is make 2 aluminium bits of tabs that'll go on the back, screwed on with 2 self-tappers and another hole at the top to self-tap it to the seat back panel, and 2 holes straight through the woodwork on the back at the bottom to fix it to the seat back panel as well. So we're just going to drop that in there quite simply like that. Put them quite low so that when it is screwed in, so you can't quite see it, so you pull the cushioning down like that. I've already drilled through, and that's just going to screw in like that. One done. Two. No, you can't quite see them, so that was stuck in pretty good. Put 2 slightly larger screws in the bottom. That's the back piece fitted.
Move straight onto the bottom section. We've done exactly the same again. We've got 2 tabs just on the front there and there. I'm just going to slide that in. Line it up with your back, make sure it's runs down.
So drop the bottom cushion in, shove it right up to the back. We don't need any fixings on the back because it just slots in behind the other one, under the other one should I say. We're going to drill through these front tabs.
Be very careful because the drill can just be careful because your drill can pick some of the fibres up in the carpet and pull it.
That's the bottom cushion fitted in, and that's basically your seat fixed.
So as you can see, we've purposely made those short so that the cushion hides it.
Again.
And we'll do the exact same on the other seat.
We're now going to do the gear stick. What we've done, we've shortened it by 2 inches. We've taken it out, cut 2 inches out of the length and welded it back together. So we've still got the thread at the top so that we can use the original gear knob. Then all you've got to do is put the gaiter back on. And we'll put a bit of trim around that hole there. Then we've got the original gaiter from the Sierra. Shove that back on, push it into the hole. This is just how we've done it, and you can do it whichever way you wish just to do it, bring it down.
Keep manipulating it round until you're happy, pull it around, get it sat in that. As you can see, we're not actually covering the tunnel top, and what we've done, we've already screwed the tunnel top in position. You do this probably after you, I don't know, you might run some cables down the inside or whatever you're going to do. Cover this in vinyl cloth or whatever you want to cover it in, and then put your edge trim on to cover the vinyl cloth, and then carry on with all the gear stick.
That's the gear knob done. So what we'll do now is we'll move straight on to the steering column cover, which is the original Sierra one again. What we've got to do is we've got to cut it down a bit so it does actually fit. And then we've got the bottom piece, which is inside of the peak, and fixed with 3 screws underneath, which is the original screw fix holes. Right, that's the steering column cover fitted. It's looking a lot neater, I think. That looks pretty good, that's it.
Come next to fit the handbrake, and